Sheryl Sandberg, the chief operating officer of Facebook, was about to give a groundbreaking TED Talk entitled Lean In. Her intent really was to promote gender equality within the leadership ranks of corporations, and it was a speech that started a movement. But afterwards, Sandberg admitted that her talk might have failed had she not made a last-minute adjustment. You see, the day before she gave that speech started out as a bad one. Just before leaving for her trip to deliver the speech, her daughter grabbed her leg and pleaded with her not to go. And as she was telling this to a friend, the friend suggested, "Hey, why don't you include that story in your speech?" "Are you kidding?" Sheryl said. "Are you suggesting that while trying to empower women to take on leadership responsibilities, I should go out there and admit that before I got here, my daughter was clinging to my leg?" Well, the answer must have been yes, because she decided to do it. In this way, she thought, women would not feel like they are alone balancing work and family responsibilities. And then there's Steve Jobs. While giving his now famous Stanford graduation address, he talked about how devastated he felt after being fired from Apple, the company he started. And he used this as an example of how failure is merely a temporary setback if you're doing what you love. Many leaders avoid this kind of personal transparency because they believe it shows weakness and therefore lessens their influence. But in actuality, the opposite is true. A management psychologist by the name of Robert Cialdini went undercover for 3 years applying for various sales positions with fundraising organizations, telemarketing firms, even used car dealerships. His purpose really was to observe the way people are influenced by others. And one of his main observations is that likability is at the top of the list of influencing factors. So what better way to gain likability than to let people know that you too have vulnerabilities? Certainly leaders have to provide good examples. But the leader who hides behind a mask of invincibility isn't really fooling anyone. Let's face it, we already know you're not perfect. What's more, we don't want you to be. Who can relate to perfect? Now, I'm certainly not advocating that you wear your heart on your sleeve, but there is one way to talk about your own vulnerabilities that can inspire, influence, and motivate the people you lead. And it's through the use of a communication tool that you're very familiar with. It's the same one Sheryl Sandberg and Steve Jobs used with their audiences. It's called storytelling. No, not this kind of storytelling. What I'm referring to is a unique form of storytelling, one that is suitably tailored for business settings. And that's where SFL, or Storytelling for Leaders, comes into play. During SFL training, we not only teach storytelling methods that will help managers better relate to their people, we also teach other forms of storytelling that can help them create alignment around strategic initiatives, alter entrenched, hard-to-change opinions standing in the way of progress, achieve voluntary compliance for changes in direction or policies. Let's put it this way. If your objective is to influence, inspire, or motivate, there's a way storytelling can help. Now, you should know that our experienced and accredited teachers do not base what they teach on their opinions of what works. Our program is founded in scientific evidence of what works and why. Furthermore, SFL is not a hit-it-and-forget-it one-day workshop. Storytelling used in business settings is a specialized skill, and as such, it requires practice. And that's precisely why, following our workshop, your team will be provided with ongoing practice sessions where they can participate and get feedback as they hone their skills. Perhaps this explains why thousands of people around the world have incorporated Storytelling for Leaders as a mainstay training program for both their new and experienced managers. So join the list of companies that are using this program. Companies like Microsoft, IBM, Coca-Cola, Boeing, and many others. See how this program can turn your leaders into leaders people want to follow.